episode I'm doing a special controller for the PS2. So this is not an official controller, however it's also official artwork for a different company. This is a Simpsons Homer Simpson doughnut controller. So there's a couple things to note. Like I said, it's not an official Sony controller. Although it is an official Simpsons controller, it's got the copyright 2007 and the Fox logo, as well as Matt Groening on the side there. So a couple things to note about the quality of the controller. So it plays alright, however the paint on the action buttons is wearing off. My triangle and square are completely off, and the cross is more like an upside down Y. The circle button is completely fine. The analogs work not too bad, and this controller, the plastic feels kind of cheap, but I mean it's still pretty solid, so that's good. However, it is very smooth feeling plastic too, and the D-pads, or the control pad's kind of weird. It's almost more like an analog stick, so that's kind of neat, and it works pretty good. But there's no motors in this, so it is not a dual shock. It's just the standard controller. As far as my review of this controller goes, it's also a turbo controller, if I mentioned that's a turbo feature here. So I would rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 5 being it's the same quality as the original controller. I'm going to have to give this a 5 out of 10 because it's got the lack of the the motors, and the fact that the paint on the buttons is coming off. So I don't really use this controller. I actually just recently picked it up for about $7 Canadian. Yeah, so I'm taking off a point for the lack of the motors and for the paint coming off on the buttons. But I'm adding a point because of the really great artwork on it, and the artwork seems to be pretty solidly painted on there, so that's very good positive. So if you're a fan of The Simpsons, you might want to pick up this controller. If you're not a fan of The Simpsons, you know, you might not want to. It's an average control. It's actually a below average controller in my opinion, but the artwork is what really makes it stand out. So if you like controller variants, maybe you should pick it up. If you love The Simpsons, you should pick it up. But yeah, so I hope you enjoy these videos, and there should be more to come.